getting hurt in that way. Um, it's scary, I'm guessing, as a basketball player to just sort of see that. So, what was, I guess, your initial reaction, and then also how do you think the team sort of handled that as it?
I think it's anytime you see one of your teammates go down, it's I think a real level of concern. We spend a lot of time around each other, more than we would our family. So I think that was the number one thing, and then for it to be your best player, the most important part of our team. At this point in the season, you just like, it was like an oh shit moment, especially because there was nobody else around. And I was right next to him, so I just saw like kind of his facial expression, like his reaction. So obviously I got scared. I knew we was gonna call a timeout, so I just dribbled up to half court. And when he stood up, I could tell he wanted to try to put weight on it, and I saw him put some weight on it. And it was like, I guess the reaction of him doing that is what made him kind of like, almost go back down. But I saw him put weight on it, so I was like, all right, it seemed stronger than what I was thinking. And to see him just be able to even walk off on his own, I think that showed me a lot. So obviously that was encouraging to see. And now you just want him to get healthy. We gotta do what we gotta do as a team to rally around him and can just continue to finish it out strong. And I think the good thing is we still got the rest of this week, and then we're gonna have some time with the play-in games, and hopefully he'll be able to heal during that time. But right now we gotta finish the job. Tonight was a great win for us.
Did he say anything before he left?
No, I didn't. We came in, I haven't seen it.
I guess. Just that he didn't say nothing. You saw him fall. You said he was right next to him. He yelled.
Yeah, he fell. No, he didn't make no noise. He just, once he went down, I saw his face. He was just kind of like, just concerned. And when we called the timeout, I walked right up, and he stood up, and I was standing next to him, and I saw him kind of like lean on it, and I could tell the reaction from like that pain. He kind of like, it got weak, but I saw him put weight on it, and that was encouraging, like I said.
I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about soleus injuries, but
I did it last year.
So I was going to ask you, what does it feel like?
That shit hurt. It hurt. And it makes sense that's, I think when I did it, usually I'm able to walk things off. I feel like I have a good high pain tolerance. And when I did it, I started to walk, and it wasn't that. It was just that painful. It was like the muscle was just can't handle it, So I think once it calmed down, you kind of figure out a way to kind of like limp around it, but it's a weird feeling. But hearing that, I know that feeling, and also as somebody who experienced that, if that's what it is, that's also encouraging.
Is that something that you can like rehab pretty quickly, or did you need to take some time before you could actually like do some stuff?
When I did it, I strained my calf, and then I came back after like, I would say probably like 8 or 9 days. I came back from the calf, and then I strained. Then I had the soleus injury right after I came back. I think it was like a game or two after I came back. I did my soleus, and then after that, it was like 2 weeks for me. It was like 2 weeks, and then I came back and played.
What as Doc said, there's kind of a fog for the team, maybe in the arena, and yet able to push through that, hit buckets, and win this game. And the game after 4 in a row, 6-7. So just what did you learn or what did you see from yourself and your guys to finish this off?
I think it just shows who we are as a team. I think the first couple of minutes, everybody was still a little bit stunned, like, what just happened. But we got a vet team, an experienced team, and like I told you after last game, like as hard as a time as we've been having, we got guys who really believe, and you just got to stay positive, and you just got to keep pushing forward because you don't know when you're going to turn the corner. And I think sometimes it gets worse before it gets better, and we was having a good game, and then something like that happens. You see your best player go down, and you got to rally around him, and you got to not let the game slip away after that, and after losing 4 games straight and 6 out of 7, it's like these are the kind of things you got to overcome to get out of a hole and to not just get off the hook and do it. You got to do something that's going to challenge you, and you got to earn it so that you feel good about it and you can move forward in a positive way. And I think that's what this experience and then even the game tonight was for our team.
He started 75 games this season. Pat Bev is a very different player than him. Just what do you feel like changed about your guys' starting lineup having him instead of Bees?
I think, obviously, I don't think it's a knock on Bees. Like you said, he started 75 games. I think Bees has had a career year. And just where our team has been, you lose a stretch of games, games that we should win. We have a good game last game, let it slip. And I've seen it just over the course of my career where sometimes coaches just shake things up. It doesn't mean it's permanent. It doesn't mean somebody did something wrong. You just shake things up to just get a team and give things a different look. And I think him throwing Pat Bev in there, he's an instigator. He's a guy that plays with energy. He has a certain, disposition about him, when he's on the floor, and it brings a different dynamic to the starting lineup than what we've had. And, even if B started tonight, we might start the game the same way. But there's no denying what, the impact that Pat Bev had on the game tonight. And that's what it takes to win. Everybody has to be okay with whatever is working best for our team at that time, and we got to be willing to sacrifice and be bought into whatever that looks like, even if it's at our own expense. So I think that's what it was. I thought Bees came in and gave us great minutes. He hit a 3. He had a nice drive in the first half when they closed out. He's chasing guys around. I mean, he came in and played how he always played. He just didn't start the game. And at this point in the season, I think it's whatever it takes and whatever's asked of us, we got to be on board with doing it because it's a hell of an opportunity for us all.
That first quarter was such a push. No need for a shot clock. You guys were taking a lot of threes. Was that how you wanted to play against Boston, or is that just how you wanted to play? I mean, I think you were shooting like 80%.
I think it just was an emphasis on our pace. We played with great pace, not just up and down the floor, but even once we got in the half court, just side to side, how we attacked the rim, how we cut, how we ran into screens. Everything was done with pace, but I think the number one thing is just making them miss. When we not having to take the ball out the net, take it out, slow the game down. We was getting it off the rim, we was getting deflections, getting steals, and we was getting it and we was going. So we didn't play against a set defense the whole time, and I think that's when we getting stops and getting out, that's when we really see the weapons that we have. You see Giannis out in transition. You see Chris playmaking in transition. You see the defense coming in and Brook is spacing the floor and they can't stop Giannis and get out to Brook. And then Chris has it on one side, Giannis in the pick and roll, and they loading up and then it's a quick pass to me and I get my first shot as a clean look at 3. And then it's so off balance because of our pace and how we're playing. The next time I come off pick and roll and nobody's there, I get another 3, So I think it started with us just getting stops and rebounding the ball and being able to push it at them, and it just led to higher quality offense.
This game set a record for fewest combined free throw attempts. Just how weird did it feel to be in a game where only one guy goes to the line the whole night, shoot 2 free throws?
Yeah, it was weird, but that seems to be the trend. Like fouls are not a part of the game no more. It's like, I've had times where I thought I was getting fouled, and then there's been other times where I was surprised the foul didn't get called on me, where I might bump somebody or get a piece of somebody's arm and they don't call it. I'm like, man, they really letting us just play. And then, like the other night, I fouled out with 2 minutes left in the game. I fouled out twice in our last 5 games or something like that. I haven't fouled out in I don't know how long before this. So you just got to roll with however the game is going in tonight. I hardly remember any whistles, so.
I have no idea how long Giannis could be out, but there's a real chance that he's out until whenever the playoffs start.
Yeah.
We've asked you guys about this a lot, not getting a lot of time with the big 3 underdog. How do you guys try to get ready in this week and a half with that being a real possibility, that you guys might not have any more reps of field last week?
I said this the other day. I don't think it's not perfect, you know, and it's not going to be perfect. But I think we've shown in stretches and we've shown in games that it can be really good, you know, and we can dominate. And I think that usually happens against the best teams. You know, if you look at the game against Oklahoma City, like we had it rolling. Even tonight we had it rolling. I think against Denver, you know, the first time against Boston. So against the best teams, I think we really lean on each other. You know, we exhaust, you know, the things with Giannis and then with Chris and then me. Like we just kind of play in that naturally because we know that we need to do that to take advantage of these good teams. And I think sometimes when playing against teams that aren't on the level of Boston or Denver or Oklahoma City, we see opportunity in other things, so we don't just we don't play the same way. You know, I don't think it's as natural, but when it comes down to it and when we get into the playoffs, I think we'll be able to put it together, and it won't be perfect then, but I think it'll be more simple. You know, I think playoff games aren't as fast paced. It's more half court possessions. It's more execution and thinking and being able to get to the things we want to get to, and I think that'll also help us out. But it is what it is. You know, we got enough, and I think that's a good problem to have.
It's a tough question to ask. You guys had such a big lead early, but generally speaking, how different can you play when you have a lead, maybe after 3 quarters or whatever? Does it change? Does it not matter this team is so good, or does it change not only rotation subs, but what you want to do, what you might gamble with defensively?
I don't think we need it. I think our problem in some games where we kind of let teams back into the game or we lose leads and stuff like that is not playing the same. It doesn't mean that we play in a hurry and take quick shots and, you know, we play sped up. But, you know, our pace and doing the things that we do, you know, how we run the floor for each other, sprinting into screens, rolling hard, pulling behind, giving guys outlets. Defensively, the low man